Let's sing a song full of hope, full of pain. Why don't you sing along, my friend? For it's our last refrain. Forever young, ever strong, ever brave. Memories like this never end. No, they don't fade away. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on. And I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun. Close to the sun. Here's to the ones who let shine through the rain, the ones who stood for something more. We won't forget your names. The tide is high, say goodbye, we're setting sail, and all those midnight secrets told, we'll take them to the grave. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on. And I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun. Close to the sun. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on. And I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun.
All right, everybody. Even the fireworks are going off. I couldn't plan that if I tried. Welcome, everyone, to episode 10. This is the Icey Layer podcast, State of December, and also the Icey Awards for 2021. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a great Christmas. I know I did. Had a great movie marathon, and it was just nice to actually watch some good movies. Considering the filth that was Matrix Resurrections, that movie was abominable to say the least. So one thing to take note, if you guys haven't heard my voice already, I am dealing with the Omni flu is what I'm calling it. So yeah, there'll be some times I'll have to mute myself just to deal with that, and then I'll come back and we'll continue to talk. So yeah, definitely been trying to get through this stupid thing. Usually it takes me about a week to get through a cold. But yeah, this one's been kind of a bitch to get through. So, but I am here. I'm not gonna let the stupid Omni flu cancel me. So we're gonna go ahead and get going here. All right. So the first order of business. So this whole day, I just wanted to reminisce on some good movies. So, I decided to watch some movies that I haven't seen in a while or haven't seen at all. So quite ironically enough, I haven't actually seen The Joker all the way through. I've seen like bits and pieces of it. I've heard all the reviews, heard all the spoilers, and it's like, you know what? It is time to sit down. It is time to just watch some good movies and try to dip our toes into some new ones. So kind of the order was I watched The Joker. I tried to watch 8-Bit Christmas. That one was rough to get through. About 45 minutes into it, I just said, no, this isn't for me. And I just turned it off because I want to watch something much more better, which was the first Matrix. And then after that, I watched The Truman Show. So basically, I wanted to get my money's worth of HBO Max, considering that I paid for it so that way I can watch Resurrections. And it's like, I'm going to watch some good movies. I'm going to get my money's worth out of this and then go from there. So watching The Joker, I can see why it made $1 billion. It is such a great movie. Story's well written. It is amazing that a low-budget film can give us such a great movie, memorable movie. And it was just nice to escape. You know, just put it on, watch a good show or a good movie. And it was very entertaining. Very powerful life lessons in The Joker. And then The Matrix. You know, I had to forget about Matrix Resurrection. So I was like, you know, let me just watch the first one again just to remind myself of how good it was. And there are some scenes where you can tell there was a backdrop for like the cities at the very beginning of the Act 1. But it was just enjoyable to watch again. To watch Neo, Trinity, the proper Morpheus, and the other proper cast. It was a great movie to relive. And I may end up watching Reloaded and Revolution again. I don't know yet. But watching the first one again was such a palate cleanser. And then once I got done with The Matrix, I was able to watch Every Frame of Pause. They will be coming up in our award ceremony. But they did a Home Alone watch through with the cast and with the chat. And it was such great to see that again, too. It was a nice treat to watch that. And I wrapped up with The Truman Show. So a great lineup of movies. It was such a palate cleanser. And I want to watch Spider-Man again. Once I'm more better, I'll go watch it again in theaters. But yeah, Spider-Man is just going to be... It's just destroyed this month. Let's just be honest with ourselves here. It has just annihilated the movie theaters and annihilated the narrative about, oh, people are so scared to go because of the Omni-flu and everything. It's like, no. It made $1 billion today. So congratulations to Spider-Man No Way Home. It has made $1 billion in our Omni-flu era. And we will go ahead and take a look at that. So, with this being the last Icey Lair for the month of December, and also the last one of the year, we kind of have a 2-for-1 show going on today. So, with that, let's go ahead and talk about the movies. Let me go ahead and I will bring up the numbers. All right, so we left off with November 26th. So, Enchanto, which was the animated from Walt Disney, was number 1. Ghostbusters Afterlife and The House of Gucci. So now we rolled into December 3rd. Again, nothing much has pretty much changed. And then we go into the following week. West Side Story absolutely flopped. And then we're still basically the same 3. And then finally, December 17th. Spider-Man No Way Home opened up to a just colossal $385,000. It is ridiculous. It's probably the first packed and proper movie theater that I went to. Probably the reason why I got the Omni-flu, but it was 100% worth it. 100% worth it. This movie was great to see in theaters, great to see a packed audience. And it was just fantastic. It destroyed Sing 2 and annihilated The Matrix Resurrection, which was a horrible movie. Again, we'll talk about that in our award ceremony. But yeah, it has just been crazy. We'll go ahead and take a look at the daily chart here. But as of yesterday, the numbers haven't updated. But at the time of this, it was $405,000. Again, I do apologize. I will mute myself from time to time to deal with the stupid Omni-flu. But, yeah, it has been ridiculous how much money this thing has been making. And word of mouth is strong, too. It got a plus 5% net gain, which means word of mouth is crazy. It's insane. And then Matrix Resurrection dropped 36%. $10 million. Yeah, that was an absolute atrocious flop. Like, that movie was rough to get through. It was 2.5 hours long. And my biggest complaint about that movie is that it's not necessary. You know, we talk about a good story having a beginning, middle, of end. You know, there's always controversy about, oh, there's only one Matrix movie. I personally liked the Reloaded and Revolutions because it continued on with that story. Not the great way of doing things, but we had the beginning, middle, and end. Matrix 4 completely just ripped open. I mean, it's just like opening up an old wound. You know, you just got it all nice and healed. Take off the band-aid, all is good to go, and then you do something and it reopens that cut, that wound, essentially. And it is just a very, very bad movie. Very bad movie. That's why I had to go back and watch the first one again, just to remind myself of just how good The Matrix was and what it was originally all about. So yeah, that is the movies. Spider-Man No Way Home just dominated. And like I said, I still stand by my statement in what I said earlier, and that it is the movie. It is great, but it came at a cost. You know, Doctor Strange got obliterated character-wise. Obliterated. But that's what Disney wants. So, it is what it is, unfortunately. But, yeah, that is the movies. Unreal. So let's talk about December for the video games front. So here's a couple of video games that came out. So we had the Infinite campaign came out to Xbox and the PC. Again, Halo seems to be doing good, but again, it goes back to the motto of Splitgate to Fortnite. This free to play, but you're also going to pay for the skins to customize your character. I'm okay with this. I like the free to play motto. Again, this is a hot take, but it goes back to how much are we going to accept that this is a good thing. I understand they got to make the money somehow, but the fact that you're going to have to pay like $10, $20 to buy ears, or to buy the color blue, a little Easter egg there, or to have the Iron Man colors. You know, when are we going to say that? What certain price are we just going to say no to? Because it's going completely ridiculous. It's interesting to see what's going to happen with that. Because I myself am a huge fan of being able to customize a character. You know, make it unique. And yes, I have fallen into that machine of how much money am I willing to pay to get that particular type of skin, color, and so forth. So here's how I balance that out when it comes to that. If the free-to-play game is really, really good, designed well, I can feel the action of the rifle, of the shooting, that everything is fair and balanced between teams, between weapons, between level maps, and so forth. If they are good, then I'm willing to put in a max $60 to $70 onto a free-to-play game, and then I stop. Because any more than that, and now they're gaining extra money from me. So I always limit myself to between $60 and $70. Because that's how much a normal game is anyway. Again, there can be some debate of, well, you only have the multiplayer. You only have the campaign mode. Now you're paying $60 for just a multiplayer game or aspect of it. Again, it's debatable. It's all subjective. Me personally, I stop at $60 or $70 if I really want to give them extra money because the game is so good, aka Splitgate. I have gotten all the skins that I've wanted out of that game. I've gotten all the looks and styles of the avatar. And I've stopped. Because, you know, we always have to say what is a fair price. You know, we as the customers, you know, we've got to put a value on it. Otherwise, they're going to go crazy with it. So that's just my general rule of thumb when it comes to free-to-play games with microtransactions in it. Now, I do have a guilty pleasure, which is Second Life, which I'll talk more about that a little bit later. Anywho, Final Fantasy XIV. Again, every person that has played this game loves it. I did a free trial of it. It's okay, but I think it's not for me. My free-to-play MMO is SOTOR, Star Wars: The Old Republic. Among Us came out for the Xbox and PlayStation consoles. Cool. And then some other major titles that came out in December. So Anvil, Soul Ash, and you guys can see the rest of it here. Some DLCs. I didn't even realize another Warhammer game was coming out. But it makes sense because it's for console games. So I have kind of... So one thing for me is that I kind of divorced myself from consoles. I kind of got burned with the PS4 and Xbox One. I'm just... And especially with nowadays, it's hard to even attain a PS5 and the Xbox Series X, I think is the latest one. I always get that confused. I kind of stopped with the Switch. And even then, it's like, I'm a PC gamer by heart. I grew up as PC player, console. I mean, I can't say that. I did a heavy transition from Super Nintendo, N64 to PC. And once I got stuck on PC, the rest was history. Because I grew up with Delta Force, Battlefield 1942, Call of Duty. And then once Minecraft came online, forget it. Minecraft ruled at least 5 to 10 years of my life when I was growing up. So it's still my second favorite game of all time. Let's see here. So other games, again, just games I haven't heard of for the consoles. Again, there's the big one there with Final Fantasy, Grand Theft Auto. We'll talk about that one coming up. Some other ones here and there's Halo Infinite, the campaign mode. Which again, I've heard mixed opinions about it. Halo finished with Halo 3 for me. I remember growing up with the first Halo, second, and third. The old days of landing the Xbox, the original Xbox. Landing the Xbox 360. And when they transitioned to the whole online play. That's when I kind of just... I don't know. It was tough. It was tough losing that LAN atmosphere. Let's see what else. So Among Us, Asteroids, Fire Girl, Internal Nocturnes. It's just a whole bunch of games I just don't know. And that's pretty much it for gaming wise. From all the streamers, from all the other content creators I've seen, it was pretty much Final Fantasy and Halo. They kind of dominated the gaming front a little bit from what I saw. So that's pretty much the movies and the games. So something else that I want to start doing with these state of, the month stream, end of the month streams. Is I kind of want to also focus on manga. This channel is heavily focusing on manga as well. I love manga. Manga's opened up to so much escapism, so much good worlds and characters to explore that we're going to start looking at some manga from the publishers of what's been released of the month. So I think, so the 7 Seas, I can't show the covers of this one because it's questionable if YouTube will allow me to show the covers, but we'll just take it from there. So you guys can see here the full list. Again, if you guys have any recommendations for any manga for me to get into and review on the channel, feel free to let me know. I am open to every and any type of manga. I'll be a little more skeptical on the romance ones. There are some romance ones that can get me hooked if it's good characters and good story. But like I said, I have my 3-volume rule of if a manga can't get me invested or interested by the volume 3, then I move on to a different story, or I'll leave it at that and you guys can finish it. So okay, so some notable ones here. Most of these mangas, again, I'm still a novice when it comes to the world of manga, the mangaverse as I'm kind of terming it. But there's really nothing here that really caught my eye for the month of December. Again, if you guys have read any of these titles, feel free to yell at me that I need to read it, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So let's see here. Yeah, there's really nothing here that has caught my eye. Okay, so there is one here that I'll look at. So it looks like Dragon Goes Hunting Volume 7. So this is a manga that I will be reviewing because I am, again, I'm an ice dragon. I'm biased towards dragons. So anything that I see that is dragon related is going to be high on my buy list. I have bought the first volume of this one that I will be reviewing probably in January. But I'm excited. I'm excited to read that. It seems quirky. It's got dragons in it. I'm all on board. Let's see. So that's pretty much it. So that's from the Seven Seas Entertainment publishing company. So now we're gonna look at Viz. So obviously Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is one that I want to get into. Some of these titles will take me time to get because sometimes there is a shortage of paper from what my local bookstore has told me. And so trying to get the reprints of some of these mangas are going to take a little bit of time. I don't want to go digital. I'm a collector by trait, so I've always got to have something hands-on and physical. I could never read on a digital screen. I prefer the natural impression and look on the normal paper because it's easier for my eyes to read and digest. And I just like having a physical copy. Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 0 is on the way for me. So more to come on Jujutsu Kaisen. Some of these other ones. One Piece, I do have Volume 1. I'm hoping to get Volume 1 reviewed in January as well. So I will be getting into One Piece. Volume 98. That's absurd how many volumes there are. Absolutely absurd. Let's see what else. Again, some of these titles I'm not familiar with. So Call of the Night, that one has piqued my interest. I just found out about this one today. I'm going to try to get Volume 1, but again, I think the reprint of Volume 1 is going to come out in February of next year. So we'll see how that one goes. I didn't realize Pokemon Sword and Shield came out, so I'm going to keep my eyes out on Volume 1 for that one because I'm a big Pokemon fan. I started collecting the cards when I was young, and Pokemon is definitely one of the franchises that I absolutely love. So we'll take a look at Sword and Shield manga, hopefully in the future if I can find Volume 1. So, and looks like I just realized that there's some manga in here that are digital only, so I may not even have a choice but to actually go digital. So I just noticed that now. Interesting. But yeah, so that is all the mangas from Viz that came out in December. Let's take a look at Karasan. Again, I'm probably mispronouncing this. I do apologize. So this is for this month. Again, nothing too notable here. So Fire Force. Fire Force I am enjoying. I just released my first review of Volume 1 that is out on this channel. And I will be continuing on with Fire Force. It's a good one. It's a good one. Obviously, Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is one that I'm going to get into. I started to reread because I actually read volumes 1 through 10 already. So now I'm just trying to reread them, get back into them. I started reading Volume 1, but I got distracted with all these different stories. So I will come back to it eventually. It is a classic for sure. Let's see here. What else? Rent a Girlfriend. It's a manga I'm going back and forth on. I'm not exactly sure if I want to go into it, but it's one that's on my radar. Attack on Titan. So I've read the first 2 Attack on Titan. I think I will eventually come back to it, but I think it's going to be one of those that I will read the first 3 volumes and then I'll punch out because it's a story that's not really for me. I know it's an icy take because I know Attack on Titan is like a classic now, manga and anime. It's got a couple of good movies out too, but it's just one of those that never really grabbed my attention. So I'll probably end up doing 3 volumes and calling it good there. Let's see what else we got. Again, more manga that I'm not too familiar with. Again, there's Rent a Girlfriend again. So the time I got reincarnated as a slime. So that one I'm having a blast with. Like I said, I got Volume 1 on this channel. And I'll continue to do that series as well. And that is it. So and then we'll be going back into January from there. Okay, so that is Kodashan. I'm mispronouncing these names like crazy. Okay, this is the Yen Press. So for this particular month, again, here's all the mangas that came out for them. Not a lot of notable ones, but I will say my next manga review is from this list. So there's a manga on the screen that I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, depending on how my voice is, I'll get that out tomorrow. There's some couple manga in here that has been catching my eye. Catching my eye. Alright, let's see. What else we got here? Okay. So Tokyo Pop is going to be different. Tokyo Pop I'm going to have to do 1 month ahead because unfortunately, they're the only website that didn't show what came out this month. And if you don't get it, they get rid of it. So it's like, come on now. But anyways, so this is going to be the only one that we're going to look ahead on. Looks like Assassin's Creed, Fox and the Little, Do Volume, and that's it. So not a lot from Tokyo Pop. Okay, sorry about that. From what I've been noticing, Tokyo Pop is kind of the main licensee for like Disney, for all the video games and so forth. Young adult or very young children entry level manga. So I don't get too much from them. And then we got Dark Horse, which just has this one, which again, yeah, kind of a spoiler from last month. Berserk. Berserk is one that I want to get into. It's on my radar, but probably going to be either January or February time frame. I'll get into that one. So yeah, that will conclude everything for December. Now, as far as the health of the channel for December, obviously it's the holidays, but we have been getting subscribers on all the channels. Interaction's been going way up, and I am really, really happy where the channel is going. Like I said, we're going to be doing, instead of doing Warhammer 40k as the title for the Twitch channel, it's going to be Tabletop Gaming, because that allows me to get into other games that I've also kind of invested in over the years. And that is Warhammer Fantasy, X-Wing, D&D, and so forth. So it's going to be eventually labeled the Tabletop Gaming for Twitch. And I do have one model that I'm planning to put together over on that channel, or on the Twitch channel. You can find on links down below. But yeah, I'm excited for it. The gaming channel kind of took a back seat a little bit. I haven't uploaded in about 3 weeks over there, so I do apologize. This Omni-Flu has really got me kind of constrained right now because of my voice, as you guys can hear. I am just like stuffed up to no one's business. Yeah, it sucks to say the least. And a couple of days I actually lost my voice, so I've been focusing more on the model railroading channel and the collectibles channel because obviously I don't have to use my voice. And I kind of tried to save it up for this stream because this stream is always an important one for me because I love doing the recap. I love seeing all the things that came out in December. And then it's also extra special for me because of the Icey Awards. It's a tradition that I've done way back in 2012, 2013, all the way up to like 2016. And then I had to stop for IRL reasons. But I wanted to bring that back. And ever since I started going knee-deep into being a content creator again and doing videos and streams and so forth, I wanted to bring it back. And I want to bring it back strong. And so that's why I wanted to bring back the awards, because it's basically my way of recommendations of great movies, video games, manga, and just things in general that deserve to be highlighted for the year. And again, this is all subjective. This is all just me. But I want to do it in some sort of awesome, formal way. And as we build our fandom, I want you guys to also express what was your favorite things of the year. You know, what would you give out? And this is just a a way that we can come together and just highlight just the great things in the year. With Christmas, with this particular, and it's usually going to be the last stream of the year. And unfortunately, I didn't realize I was going to land on Christmas. But if you guys watch this in the future, I greatly appreciate it. And hopefully, next year we'll have a great interaction. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, but with that, it's pretty much going to be me. I'm going to solo this, and yeah, I'm excited for this. It's always something that I'm thinking about in the back of my mind starting January. It's like, okay, fresh, clean slate. What escapism, what good escapism are we going to get today? So with that, guys, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. Again, I got to deal with this Omni-flu. And then we're going to come back to the Icey Awards of 2021. Again, give me about 5 minutes, and we'll take care of the awards. Be right back, guys. Alright, guys, thank you so much for bearing with me. Alright, it is time. It is time to present the 2021 Icey Awards. This is kind of also my little protest against the stupid Oscars and Grammys and all those other politicized award ceremony. I give them the middle finger and I just create my own. With that, let's take a look into our categories. The first one coming up is the best movie. Again, these are all in my opinion, all subjective. But the first one's going to be the best movie of 2021. Now, there's no surprise to this winner. I bashed it with the first trailer as it came out. I was deeply concerned of what they were going to do with it. Because anything with the Disney attached to it is always going to yield concerns for me. This was the movie that was half right and half wrong. Of course, it's gotta be Spider-Man No Way Home. That movie surprised me. I'm glad that they respected the characters, that Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, the three of them together, gave us the wonderful Spider-Man three-way meme. And they did it so beautifully. But again, I can't stress enough that it came at a cost. But with that aside, the best movie of 2021 goes to Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, there is a runner-up that I want to announce. The runner-up is going to be Ghostbusters Afterlife. It was the movie that got me back into the movie theaters. I wanted to have that escapism. I wanted to buy just a popcorn and drink and just escape for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And it did just that. It got rid of the 2016 movie, didn't even acknowledge it. And even today, the Blu-ray collection's not going to include it. It's going to have Ghostbusters 1 and 2 and then Afterlife. It was great. It was a love letter to the fans and a proper closure to the proper trilogy. I loved every bit of it with those two movies. Those two movies got me addicted to movies again. And I loved it. I loved every bit of it. Now, let's do the polar opposite award. To the worst movie of 2021. That, and quite ironically enough, came out about a week after Spider-Man No Way Home. That goes to The Matrix Resurrections. You want to talk about a movie that didn't need to exist? That was 100% cash grab of old nostalgia. Way too long, 2.5 hours. I am so happy I watched on HBO Max. Because I would have been pissed had I paid $13-14 to go see it in a movie theater. Oh my goodness. That movie was bad. Just outright bad. Even a director, when asked, what's the point of this movie? She didn't even freaking know. Horrendous. It was such a bad movie. Matrix Resurrections. But again, this morning, I watched the first Matrix, and all was right in the world. If you want to be immersed in the Matrix, just watch the first one again. Just watch the first one again. Alright, the next award for 2021. So, this next category is going to be my way of, we always have the best movie of all time. That classic. The one that it can never, or it'll be a while before it'll ever be toppled. And this is my award. The King of the Hill Award. Now, this is going to be for multiple categories. But it's that movie that's still King of the Hill. That's still go-to. To have fun. To escape. So we'll start with the first one. King of the Hill for the movie category. This one was tough. Because there's still a lot of great movies in my lifetime that I've watched. Ready Player One. Definitely a very good movie. Again, icy take, I know. A lot of people didn't like it because it's just pop culture nostalgia. But again, you guys got to keep in mind, I love the virtual worlds. I deal with Second Life. That movie was just a love letter to that. Again, I'll talk about more in the future on that. But I had to really think, what was that movie that was just good beginning to end? And to be honest, I have to give it to Lord of the Rings. And even the trilogy Lord of the Rings. It's just, there has been no movie out there that gave us a good beginning, middle, and end in 3 movies. Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, Return of the King. It's still really good when it comes to high fantasy. And it's a shame that Amazon's going to mess it all up. But I still give it. The King of the Hill for the movie of 2021 is going to be Lord of the Rings. Alright, next award for 2021 goes out to the best song of 2021. And feel free to chime in if you have a great movie of the year. King of the Hill movie. Feel free to chime in. Let me know what was your favorite of the year. Okay, so next one's going to be the best song. So if you guys didn't know, I don't think I've really said this much on this channel. But I am a virtual DJ. I've got the disc jockey MIDI controller. There are multiple virtual worlds that I've DJ'd in before, but I primarily focus in on Second Life, and I love electronic dance music. I grew up with pop and rap and country and all these other songs. I love all the songs. I am passionate about music, and one day I would like to create my own music. I just don't have the time and equipment right now to really pursue much into it. But once I do, I'm creating music for my channel. I can't wait. But the best song, and unfortunately I cannot play it because of copyright issues. But the best song is Heroes by Afrojack and David Guetta. That song came out, I think, around January, February of this year. And it has been like a staple for me. It's either this year or last year. It'll be probably like my best played song of 2021 is probably what I'll say. But that song is really freaking good. If you haven't listened to it, listen to it. Because it gives me the motivation. It gives me the passion to just keep going. To keep moving forward. It's my motivation song for sure. And then the runner-up song is our intro song. The Fat Rat. Close to the Sun. That is my runner-up. It's just a great song. That's why it's been my intro for a while now. Alright. Again, I do apologize. I'll be muting myself from time to time just to clear out my throat. Again, stupid Omniflu. Oof. Hate it. Okay. So the next one's going to be King of the Hill song. What is my favorite song of all time, and has it been dethroned? That's a tough one. There's so many good songs out there. What is currently the King of the Hill song? My favorite song so far. Right now, that one goes to The Last Dancer from Armin van Buuren. That song is it's a progressive trance song. And from when it starts to the chorus to when it ends, it's just so beautifully designed. And so far, there hasn't been a song that really duplicates that. There's been a few that have come really close. Even Heroes came close to dethroning that song, but I think The Last Dancer from Armin van Buuren is just gold. Again, very biased because, again, I am an EDM DJ, and I listen heavily to EDM songs, electric dance music, which includes trance, progressive, hardstyle, hardcore, which, again, is debatable if it's part of EDM, but I lump it all together. Nightcore and so forth. But yeah. That's still going to be my King of the Hill. Alright, so the next one is going to be the best podcast for 2021. This one was tough. So one ground rule that I'm going to do is I'm going to exclude myself, obviously, because, again, it's biased. But it's going to be all things that I escape to, my recommendations. It was really tough who was the number one for 2021. It came down to 2 nominees. I love that my cat's opening up all the doors already. All right. So to really describe, this award is actually going to go to 2 different podcasts because I just couldn't create a number one. It was so tough. And I'm going to provide a metaphor for the reasoning behind it. Let's say you want to grab a drink of your choice to just escape the world. Responsibly, of course. You've always got the bars that you can go to. Hang out with friends. Shoot to shit. watch sports on the TVs, popcorns. Be loud, noisy. You know, if you want that atmosphere, you go to a bar. Now, if you want something more exquisite and fancy, and you want to enjoy the atmosphere at a more, I guess best I could say, elegant, professional tone, using my personal metaphor here, I would go to an Irish pub to enjoy the music, to enjoy either a fine wine or liquor of the higher brand caliber. The two polar opposites, but you still get the same kind of general feel of the alcohol. These two podcasts are like that. Friday Night Tights by Neurotic and Geeks and Gamers, and Every Frame a Pause. You guys can see where I'm going with this if you've watched these two podcasts. These two podcasts are completely polar opposite, but if you want good escapism, I go to these two podcasts. I binge watch the fuck out of these podcasts, like hours upon hours upon hours. Friday Night Tights is that bar that you go to hang out with friends, to grab just the random opinions, to have no structure, to talk about anything that they want to. They try to. They have general topics, but it goes off the rails so much that I love it. And it has been the most dominated show that I've always wanted to see on a Friday. Now, if I want something more elegant, if I want to learn something, that's when I go to Every Frame a Pause by Mahler, Fringy, Rags. And it's like these two podcasts have done so much for not only escapism, but for their community, to promote their community. You know, I even had one of my pictures be shown on Every Frame a Pause. They do so much to upbring their communities. And so I could not put a number one to those two. And this is going to be probably the only scenario where this happens. But the Icey Award for the best podcast goes to two: Friday Night Tights and Every Frame a Pause. You just cannot go wrong with these podcasts. They are just quite exquisite. Hi, Kitten. Do you agree, Kitten? Do you agree? I think she agrees. But I have consumed so much hours of their content. It's just great. Easily. It is. They are the top of the mountain when it comes to podcasting. Now, there is a couple of runner-ups that I want to mention. There are a couple of runner-ups. And I consume so many podcasts. So there's some runner-ups and honorable mentions that I just have to do for this year. BBC, Bagging, Boarding, and Chatting, was great when you know, you have ads from Heel vs. Babyface and Neurotic. They are such a great podcast to watch, especially from work. It's just two dudes talking about pop culture. And then they put the icing on the cake when they added Mahler from EFAP as a permanent host. It is a very, very good podcast. The Open Bar from Critical Drinker. That one is quickly becoming another great one to watch. Yesterday, they had an all-star cast. They had Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, Mahler, of course, Neurotic, Yellow Flash, and a few others. I can't quite remember, but it was great. I think Gaz was there. But definitely a runner-up contender for sure. And this one, the next one I'm gonna that's also an honorable mention. And I wish they would do a dedicated podcast on this, but I hope they do more with it. So I am huge into manga, and this podcast is going to get another award later, kind of a teaser there. But hands down, Lethal Lightning and Lady Gravemaster, their podcast on the Sailor Moon manga, and I hope they expand that even more in the future, has been golden, because Sailor Moon has just been one of those franchises that I've loved all of my life. It's what got me into anime. It's what got me into everything that I enjoy today. It's actually that podcast in itself got me the fire and lit me up to do what I'm doing now. And I've been passionate ever since. Geeks and Gamers, they've got some great podcasts that they're doing. Sports Wars. I follow Sports Wars every Sunday. Shouted me out a couple times. I love it. They're doing some great things with Sports Wars. It's my go-to for sports. Because ESPN is just so bad. It is so freaking bad right now. And Sports Wars they've blown it out of the park. It's been great. And then the Thursday night main event is definitely one that's up and coming. The Mario Kart streams have been great. A lot of good things coming from Geeks and Gamers. So yeah, a lot of stuff. That is definitely the most competitive categories, because it's just so much of that I consume in my free time for escapism. So, all right. So the next one coming up is the best content creator. Particularly YouTube, because again, I just watch YouTube and Twitch, my two dominant platforms right now. So, again, there's some caveats to that. So, for 2021, the best content creator of the year goes to Mauler from Every Frame a Pause, with the runner-up being Neurotic and As from Here versus Babyface. So, those three alone, I said it kind of makes sense that you're going to have the host of the two best podcasts be up there when it comes to the best content creators of the year. With obviously, I got to give a shout out to Az, because Az has been doing really well too. I wish he would. The thing that kind of tipped me in favor from Mauler is that they've been killing it this year with their movie reviews, with their critiques when it comes to analysis of the writing, with their acknowledgement of the fandom, with their plushies that came out this year. They've just been killing it. But again, I got to give the runner-up to Neurotic with their meetups, with their future plans. Az is one of those that he is so close to being my top content creator. It's just I wish he would do more with the tabletop and Warhammer. He's got Warhammer stuff that I want to see. It's biased, I know, it's 100% subjective, but his reviews are great. I just wish he would dive more into the tabletop gaming. There's a fandom there. There's an audience there for that. I hope he digs more into that into 2022. But again, still an awesome content creators. So yeah. All right, the next award coming up is the upcoming content creator YouTube. This is the award that is a very small content creator, not even monetized, because I watch a lot of YouTubers that are up and coming that put a lot of effort, dedication, and uniqueness to the channel that no one else is doing. And that award goes to our co-host on my Endless Collectibles channel of the Triple C. That goes to the Geeky Crochet. She is definitely becoming an upcoming streamer. From her crocheting to the After Dark stream. Not to the After Dark. Jesus. After the Weekend. My apologies. After the Weekend. She's definitely an up and coming. Just recently, they had, with her co-host R2, they had Drunk 3PO on their channel for After the Weekend. That is an accomplishment, to say the least. And they're going to go into the stratosphere. So yeah, definitely upcoming creator on the YouTube side, Dick Geeky Crochet. All right, so upcoming streamer. So this one's going to go out to Twitch, because I'm slowly starting to go back to watching content creators on the streaming side, especially on the Twitch side. This individual I discovered this year from Friday Night Tights. And she has just been almost every night streaming. 100% for the community. An up-and-coming streamer that has shouted me out several times on Twitter. And that award goes to Horror Amarada. And yes, I said it correctly. Horror Amarada's been a great streamer. I've been looking at her streams usually every night. Usually the streamer that helps me wind down. But her content's been great. And her fandom that's over there is just great. And very insightful. Her community nights have just been great. And she's killing it. She just passed 1,000, and she's well on her way to partnership on Twitch. So definitely recommend Horror Amarada for the upcoming streamer. All right, and then the best content creator streamer, I'll give her the same award as well. So she'll get two. Best upcoming and just best content creator of the year on the YouTube platform. Okay, so the next awards, again, kind of going along the same lines. King of the Hill, the best YouTuber of all time for me. The best Twitch streamer for me. Two different awards. So the King of the Hill. So last year, actually 2 years ago, I gave it to Boogie, which, yeah, that didn't end too well. That, well, that's hindsight now. Last year, my best content creator went out to Nerdrotic. This year, Nerdrotic has been dethroned. My favorite content creator now of all time goes out to... Oops. Okay, I think we had a blip in the matrix. Sorry about that. I guess my internet is yelling at me. But, yeah, I do apologize. I think we're back up. Yep. Looks like we're still live. All right. All right, so as I was saying, Mauler has been killing it this year. Just absolutely wrecking it. And so Mauler takes the crown for so far my favorite content creator of all time. Twitch creator. Right now I'm going to give it again back to Horror Amarada. And she's absolutely killing it on the Twitch side. And so far my favorite of all time. And so that leads us to top of the year content creator. I'm going to give that to Mauler. 2021 was the year of the Long Man. To his review of the Black Widow. To the gaming. Just a well-rounded individual. And now some of the runner-ups. I do want to give one mention to another content creator, and I wish he would do more videos, but I understand that IRL is IRL. And that goes to Rags. Rags is just a funny individual that I know he's up and coming, but he's at 375,000 subscribers. His videos is just on freaking point, hilarious, animated. It's just everything you want. I just wish he would do a little bit more, but I understand that IRL takes priority too. But gotta give a shout out to Rags. Just great. Some other ones, obviously the Critical Drinker hitting 1 million for the Phantom Menace this year. Great achievement. As I mentioned earlier, Dita Cobra, Ryan from RK Outpost, and Sports Wars. I love him when he is a host for Sports Wars. He's killing it with that channel. Absolutely killing it. Absolutely killing it. Okay, so the next categories, we're going to go on to my favorite and new medium for escapism that I have just been eating away, and that is manga. So, Sailor Moon got me into manga. When I saw that it was trying to think. This goes back a little bit. I want to say it was 2013, 2014 is when I got I completed my Sailor Moon manga collection. It was the first one that I've completed, bought everything for because, again, I'm a Sailor Moon fan. And I read through it. And that's when it kind of exposed me to the other stories. Now, I wasn't full-blown into it like I am this year. I bought some onesies and twosies. My former stepdaughter got me into it. Kind of opened my eyes to it. And this year, again, I gotta give props to Late Grade Master Lethal Lightning. When they started to do their Sailor Moon manga reviews, it kind of just opened my eyes. Like, I need to get on the ball with this. It inspired a lot of what I do on this channel with the manga reviews, with the upcoming Mangaverse podcast, a manga book club podcast I'll be doing on Saturdays. It inspired a lot. And it inspired me to read again, to really enjoy storytelling, and the escapism was just off the chart. I have read so many great stories that I'm excited for. But with that, we're going to go to the best manga of 2021. And that goes to I Am a Cat Barista. This manga really surprised me. It really surprised me. So, out of all of the... And this is very competitive. I've read so far a lot. I'm still a novice, too. There's so many good stories out there. But I Am a Cat Barista surprised me in so many different ways. It was an interesting take of storytelling. That a simple feline running a imaginary bar that comes when other humans are having problems with their livelihoods. And then this bartender essentially whips them up a drink and allows them to relax, to have a great conversation. It is written so freaking well that it just astonished me. Again, Icey take, for sure. There's other great mangas out there, but for 2021, this one surprised me the most. And I can't wait for next year. Cannot wait. Alright, so that is the best manga. So, King of the Hill manga. Now, there's going to be no surprise to this next one. I've kind of already gave you guys a lot of hints on the King of the Hill manga. It's going to be a hard one to dethrone because I am so biased towards it. Obviously, it's Sailor Moon. This one's going to be hard to topple because I love the story so much. Yes, it has its problems. Yes, it deals with time travel. Yes, Rini's involved. But hands down, Sailor Moon is the king of the hill when it comes to manga for me. for pretty much anime in general. And it's going to be a tough one to beat. Nothing has come close to Sailor Moon. It's going to be a tough one to dethrone. Next award is going to go to the Underdog Manga. This is the manga that, again, in accordance to my rule, came close to me stop reading it because it just wasn't for me. But yet it surprised me. It got out of the volume 3 rule. Again, if you guys don't remember, when I read a new manga series, I usually give it 3 volumes. It's got 3 volumes to grab me, to immerse me, to get me into that story. That goes to Blue Period. So, this manga is interesting. It's not the best illustrated, not the greatest panels, but where this shined was in the writing. Hands down, the writing saved this manga for me. Because it took 3 volumes for me to finally get into it. And it's easily one of the underdogs of this year. If you're a fan of art, if you're a fan of the creative mind, this manga's for you. This manga's for you. Alright. And surprisingly enough, nothing like coughing, trying to drink some water, and it goes down the wrong hole. Yikes. Okay. We'll get through this. Alright, guys. I'm still alive. Omni-Flu would not kill this dragon. Okay, next award. I'm kind of going to start blitzing through this because my voice is going, unfortunately. So, this is definitely going to be one of the more longer podcasts I do. Alright, King of the Hill anime. Should be no surprise. It is Sailor Moon. Now, I think for the year, the best anime for 2021, I've seen some pieces of information. I've seen some clips. And I've seen a lot of great. I think it's a popular choice for the community. And I'm giving the best anime for 2021 to Demon Slayer. I have bought. It's so far also on the manga side. I started reading Demon Slayer and it is really good. I'm 1 volume in. But it's also one of the only mangas so far that I've actually bought the entire box collection. And considering how popular it was, easily the best anime I think goes to Demon Slayer. Okay, next award goes to the best company of the year. Now, to show you guys just how bad of a picks I do about this, in about 2015, 2016, I gave the best company award to Blizzard Activision. Because that's when Overwatch was really at its prime. And same with World of Warcraft. That did not age well at all. In fact, we'll give that award out first. For probably the most destructive company and the complete 180 company and the worst company of the year, Blizzard Activision. Unreal what happened with that company. I don't need to say more to that one. But best company of the year, it should be no surprise. It also goes to my person of the year as well. And it was also the time person of the year. So kind of all of the awards go to SpaceX. They have done some phenomenal achievements for mankind right now. Starship is probably the most anticipated thing that's going to be coming up in 2022 for space with their orbital launch. So the best company of the year for 2021 goes to SpaceX, and to my person of the year, Elon Musk. That dude is killing it. Totally against the system. Just an average Joe. Against wokeism. Elon Musk is killing it right now. Just killing it. Okay. Next one goes to the best DJ of 2021. Now, again, this is a personal preference of mine, because, again, I am a DJ in the virtual world. The disc jockey of 2021 goes to Armin van Buuren. There is no doubt that he keeps coming out with hit after hit after hit. He does a Stay a Trance radio show on YouTube, and Twitch, and Facebook. He does the remixes at the end of the year. And he is also my top DJ of all time. So the King of the Hill also goes to Armin van Buuren. Just a great DJ, great artist. And he does so much. It's great. All right. So the next couple categories are going to go to gaming. It's going to go to gaming. The best video game of the year goes to... And I'm 100% biased on this. Well, no. No. I'm not biased on this one. I played a lot of hours with this with friends, with family members. I have watched a lot of hours competitively on YouTube and Twitch. But my game of the year goes to Splitgate. I love Splitgate. I haven't played it much as I want to because my computers have just been dying on me, but Splitgate has been a great freaking game. A hybrid child of Halo at its prime and Portal. I spent up to $70. It's one of those games that I gave them a lot of money because it's just a well-developed game. The guns feel like proper guns. The shooting, the aiming just feel on point. And it was just such a blast. For 5-minute rounds, it is simple. It is just so good. There's been only one other game that I've been really competitive with, and it has been like that escapism for me. And that's been Rocket League. Splitgate has just been great. I do have a runner-up game for the year, and that is Railroading Online. It is basically a railroader's wet dream to build a narrow gauge railroad. Multiplayer. And it's definitely up and coming. One that I plan on playing on the Mythical Railroad channel coming up next year. And I am excited for that. Just a great game overall. And it's definitely one of those games that I know if I play it, I'm going to get addicted to it and you'll never see me again. So I'm trying to moderate my time with that. Worst video game of the year goes to Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto, their remake trilogy. That has just been a shit show of a game. That's all I gotta say about it. It's just bad. Don't buy it. It's a cash grab. All right, next game, King of the Hill, video game of the year, or excuse me, King of the Hill video game. Basically, my best game of all time. This one I'm going to separate it a little bit because fairness. I will still continue to say this until I die. The best social game / video game, because I kind of had to put that social aspect on there, goes to Second Life. Nothing is going to match Second Life, I would argue. With the exception of potentially VR, but VR hasn't gotten there yet. Second Life is just one of those games that you can do anything, create anything, be anything you want. I will do a special video on Second Life coming up on that. More to come. But now if I go to traditional video games for King of the Hill, that one go to Minecraft. Minecraft and Second Life have been my top 2 games of my life. Minecraft's come out with their latest update, which I still need to try. But it is really tough for any game to really match that. In third place right now, it's going to go to Kerbal Space Program. I got to give an honorable mention to Kerbal Space Program because I love space and I love anything that's sandbox. So that combines the 2 best things that I absolutely love. So shout out to Kerbal Space Program as well. Okay, the final category for the gaming. The tabletop game of the year. The tabletop game of the year. Now this one, it used to be Warhammer 40k, but that got dethroned because I have a love-hate relationship with Warhammer 40k. And it has to deal with freaking Games Workshop. Now, it is, to be fair, they still make my favorite game this year. And that goes to Warhammer Age of Sigmar. It is basically the predecessor of Warhammer Fantasy. They basically stopped Warhammer Fantasy and started bringing up Age of Sigmar. Age of Sigmar has been looking great. The models look good. The game looks good. Again, love-hate relationship with Games Workshop. The models are overpriced to hell. When one miniature costs almost $100 to get like a tank or a heavy vehicle or a figure, it's ridiculous. Again, love-hate relationship with Games Workshop. But but yeah. Crazy. All right. And now to the last award of 2021. This one is a combination of multiple things. And actually, I have 2 more awards. I got 2 more awards left. This one goes to the best moment of 2021. This one's tough. But it can be summed up in one simple word. And that is fandom. You guys. You guys, from those that I personally interact with on Second Life, those that I interact with on my 4 channels, to my Twitch stream, you guys have made this year bearable, awesome, and great. It has been a hell of a year for everyone. You guys, the community, the Icey fandom. I cannot wait for the future. To my model railroading, to Hero in the After Dark, to the endless collectibles in the Triple C, to the upcoming tabletop gaming on Twitch. Those 5 pillars of escapism. Technically 4, because gaming is part of tabletop is part of gaming, so 4. It's been quite something. To all my interactions on Twitter, it's been great. And the best moment is me interacting with you guys. And I just don't think anything's going to top that. It's been humbling. It's been fun. Thank you to the ones who have taken care of me IRL and are joining me on this journey. Thank you to all the content creators that have allowed me to be on their channels, to their platforms. It's been quite humbling. And I am excited for 2022. I am excited. One more award that I kind of want to slam in there is to the best news of the year. And that actually happened this morning. That actually happened this morning. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Maybe a little, maybe 3:30. And I was able to watch the launch of the James Webb Space Telescope. I was going to find a way to put space into this. Because I love space. That's actually going to be my fifth pillar of space, but that's part of the After Dark channel for this channel. Our second eye in space is well underway. Obviously, we got the Hubble Space Telescope, and now we have the James Webb Space Telescope. A transformer. It is now currently on its way to the L2 spot, which I'm not going to get into that right now. I'll bore you guys to death. But it's easily the most important news of 2021. Godspeed, Webb Space Telescope. And with that, guys, that concludes the awards for 2021. Thank you, everyone, for those who are watching now, to the lurkers, to those who will watch the VOD later on and in the future, to those who will become the Icey fandom in the future. It has been a great year. It's been tough, but it's been a great lease on life. Great people from my IRL side to my Second Life side to my content creation side. You guys make all of this possible for me. Give me the strength, the energy, the motivation that I need to get through everything. It's been fun. And I'm deeply humbled that you take your precious time to watch my content. I'm still a novice at doing this. I promise I'll get better. I owe it to you guys. I'm excited for all the manga that I'm going to read coming up and share with you guys. I'm excited for the most anticipated thing of 2022 for me. The Mangaverse. I am excited for that. A book club for manga fans. Starting with this manga right here. RWBY manga. Will be the first manga that we'll do as a community. As a Icey Fellowship. We're going to go down multiple journeys. If you're into manga and want to share it with me, I'm going to do StreamYards. I'll give you guys the link, and we can talk about the wonderful world of storytelling. I'm excited for this. I'm excited to share with the Icey Fellowship, the Icey fandom. And that is what I am really, really excited about. Not to mention the other podcast, this podcast. I am excited to where this will go. I'm excited to where the Triple C will go. Collectibles, crocheting, and chatting with the Geeky Crochet. And I'm excited for any other future opportunities that I can get. But I'm going to share it with you guys. Because you guys are worth it. But with that, guys, my voice is gone. I have to rest now. I'm going to try to get a manga review out tomorrow. Thank you guys for making this year such an awesome year. I look forward to you in the year 2022. With that, guys, Merry Christmas to all. Wing hugs to everyone. Remember that choice and escapism is on us. I love you guys so much. And have a very Merry Christmas night.
Time turns to darkness. Will I